Hello, everybody, and welcome to our online business talk, Expertise Share. My name is Lars Flottron.
My name is Sergey Kantsarov.
And we also very welcome our great speakers today evening, Vitaly Mzokov from Kaspersky. Vitaly.
Привет, привет. Hi.
Yes, and we also welcome Yegor Shadrin from Amazon Web Services.
Hello, everybody.
Yelena Molchanova from Kaspersky as well.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning to everyone.
And Ivan Kopytov from Microsoft.
Hello, everybody. Pleasure to meet you here.
Good. Sergey, today we talk about cybersecurity. I think absolutely top topic.
Right.
Yeah, and we shouldn't waste too much time and hand over straight away to Vitaly. Vitaly, the threat landscape 2020. Now, up to you now.
Thank you, Lars. I hope you guys can hear me and you can see the slides. Well, it's always a little bit challenging to be the first guy to talk. But today, I think I will have some very cool information for you guys. So mainly we will talk about the threat landscape, what we saw in the last year, what we are seeing right now during the pandemic, and actually also how to go beyond the challenges, how to actually work in the currently available circumstances and what corporates can do around it. So what we've been seeing last year is still a huge number of the cyber incidents. For sure, the whole world is becoming more digital, right? So this leads to the increasing, at least to the increase of the importance of the cyber defense and cyber resilience topics. So you can see that numbers are self-evident and actually self-explaining. A huge amount of the attacks, a huge amount of the malicious objects, and we as Kaspersky, as a cybersecurity company, and our colleagues from other companies have a lot of work to do to help both consumer and business worlds actually to fight this cyber evil. But what we saw when the pandemic started is also quite unpleasant. What we see is the huge increase of the attacks against both consumers and companies. But the fact is that right now, these days, the new normal is that people mix personal and work, and the work-life balance is not the same anymore. People work from home, so they mix the devices, and our stats demonstrate that lots of the people actually use incorporate devices to do personal tasks. At the same time, they use personal devices to do something for work. They use very different communication tools, and the pandemic actually pushed for that. People are not communicating in the office. You cannot just go downstairs and talk to your colleague. You go online. But how you do that? You don't send emails, right? You use messengers. And this is in fact something that creates a sort of the shadow IT infrastructure invisible to the corporate IT guys and corporate security guys. And this creates a tremendous challenges to both IT and security people on maintaining the cyber resilience of the organizations. And this is really challenging tasks because what we saw before, corporates were able and they invested a lot in deploying solutions to protect corporate perimeter, corporate environment. But right now, since this mix of the personal and work stuff, the corporate perimeter is not the same anymore. Actually, it's kind of removed, and there is just just the infrastructure, right? That involves both corporate and the home office of the individuals. What we saw as well at a huge increase of the DDoS attacks these days, and actually lots of the unpleasant yet significant things. I will show you some of the examples what happened these days during 2020, and I think some of you saw I would say the number of the fake messages in Twitter where quite very famous people promised to double your crypto account. If you send 1 Bitcoin, they will send you a double. And this is crazy, but people actually do believe into this type of the fake things. So hijackers were able to manipulate and use the that type of the things against the consumers. The consumers who doesn't pay enough attention. And I will be repeating during my presentation that the cyber resilience is something that happens when you have proper cyber hygiene in the infrastructure and in minds of your employees, in minds of your people, and regardless what they do. This is one of the examples. People don't pay enough attention, and they think that, oh, this is a lucky price for me, can be if I send a Bitcoin and then my account will be doubled. This is quite unpleasant, but was very I would say dangerous thing. Another stuff is the result of the, I would say, people staying more at home. The more time you stay at home, the more time you spend on the leisure things, right? And we saw the increase of the gaming industry in general. And in fact, the more specific industry becomes or specific area becomes popular, the more crowded it becomes, the more attention it gets from the cyber criminals. So what we saw with the increase of the gaming industry, I mean, more people were playing games, so the industry grows, and the cyber criminals always trying to capitalize on that. And we saw multiple examples of fake execs, fake installations, and or distributive, so installation packs with the malware injected. Actually, and the fact that the gaming activities are growing help cyber criminals to get their malicious codes planted on the consumer devices for the different reasons, for sure. Steal data, intercept the traffic, spy on you, and do other things. What is very dangerous here is that if we get back to my previous statement that people use personal devices for work and they use work devices for personal stuff, this creates a significant danger for enterprises. If you play games in your laptop, right, that your employer gave you, and when you install the malicious code with the proper setup of the security things on the laptop, you compromise the defense of the whole infrastructure of your organization. So that's dangerous, and this is something that comes as a result of both implementing right things and actually implementing right mentality in your employees. Another stuff is the lots of the phishing websites that capitalize also on the activities of the big companies. So people don't pay enough attention what they see online, where they click, and what kind of data is requested by people who pretend to be representatives of the big companies. One another example, on one of my previous presentations, I was given an example of the lack of the security measures in the Zoom conferences. But what we saw recently was like a fantastic thing. A guy, a journalist, were able to get into the very secret Zoom meeting of the Minister of the Defense. Can you imagine what was a surprise for that guy and his colleagues to see a lovely guy in the black t-shirt like mine, looking at them and actually listening what they talk about. This was able actually to, just because people also again don't pay enough attention to what they do. The journalist saw the screenshot of one of the participants of the event with the link to the conference, with the login and the part of the pass. That was enough to do kind of the brute force attack and actually get into the meeting. And everybody was inside, actually amazed. But this actually raises serious questions about the difference of not just meetings of the important people, but the overall cyber resilience and cyber immunity of the infrastructures that they used on the very high levels, not on the enterprise, but also on the governmental level as well. So for us and for my team, I'm the head of the innovation hub at Kaspersky. These challenges actually, we always try to transform into the opportunities. So what we do, what we saw is actually since the increasing demand for the security tools that are needed for the enterprises and the personal protection, we decided to launch several startup calls. One of them was related to the so-called all-life protection, where we were looking for the solutions by the startups that allows to increase the defense of the individuals. And also, since, as I mentioned, the gaming industry was growing, we were looking for the solution that allows to put the games and the gaming tools to the next level of the cybersecurity. We did a tremendous job. For sure, the pandemic also influenced us on the way how we do the scouting, how we perform the demo days, but we were able to collect lots of the applications from the startups who wanted actually to provide their solutions so they can partner with Kaspersky. So then we can together combine the efforts to maximize the efficiency of that fight against the cyber evil. And as the few tips in the as the last part of my presentation, I would love to say that it's very important, tremendously important, to increase the cyber hygiene of the employees, and actually keep in mind that you, not as an employee, but also just as an individual, has to think about what things you do online, how you do that, and what's your cyber hygiene. Hygiene is not only washing hands, right? It's also about what you do online. Also make sure that your home office infrastructure is set up properly. This is the task for both the employer and the employees. Guys, you should not work from the home office with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 passwords on your Wi-Fi network. This shouldn't be done like that. You and your home office is a part of the corporate infrastructure, so be careful about that. Also, since the increasing need since the increase in the cyber attacks against the individuals for the sake of stealing some money from the digital accounts, pay attention on your banking accounts. And very simple, the very old recommendation, but please do care about your passwords, not just about where you store these passwords. So definitely not on paper, but also about their diversity. Don't use the very same password everywhere. This is one of the biggest dangers, and the very stupid mistakes people do. And I promised you the 5 security tips, but the last one is very important as well. we do this in Kaspersky, and we company who works in the cybersecurity field for more than 23 years, but we still look for new solutions. We see that there are a lot of the companies around us doing the very same stuff. They fight cyber evil. So we partner with them, and this is one of the recommendations for the enterprises as well. Guys, think about who can be a partner for you on maximizing the security, but don't think only about the purchasing the security solutions. There are plenty of them, but also how you can actually, based on the partnership with the security companies, how you can actually build or maybe offer new products to the industries where you work, or maybe where your business partners work. These are my 5 security tips during pandemic. Thanks a lot for attending this event, guys, and enjoy the remaining of these events.
Good. Okay, thank you very much, Vitaly. What is your advice to create a secure password? Normally, I personally have always problems with that.
Well, the secure password is actually, I would answer on this in this way. It's not only about how complex the password is, but also which passwords are using across the different platforms. What we saw usually is that people use the very same password that they can recognize. It can be even very complex one, but they use the same one. And the thing is that across the I would say across the whole world, people use a number of the services, right? And if you somehow, as a cyber criminal, compromise one service, and when you see the passwords of the users, you can easily do what? You can compromise other services automatically, because most likely these guys are using the same password everywhere, in Facebook, in Zoom, anywhere. So that's one of the most helpful things you can do. Just use different passwords.
Good. Yes, sorry, our screen just switched off. Thank you, Vitaly. And Igor, could you please share with us what is AWS, Amazon Web Services, doing with cybersecurity startups, and what are your approach to this area?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sergey. And thank you, Vitaly, for sharing the tips for like security from the human perspective. We as Amazon, we are thinking about automating security and everything related to security on our platform. And for us, it's a top priority job, because everything is based, everything should be secure, and everything should be based on a secure principles. So today, I want to tell you a little bit about shared model, which we usually keep in mind when we're talking about security in the cloud. And if you're talking about traditional on-premise security model, then customer is responsible basically for everything, for infrastructure, for encryption, for networking, for patching, and operational systems and data, of course. And when we talking about shared responsibility model, when the customer is actually deploying or have infrastructure in the cloud, we're talking about shared responsibility on a different level. So for example, if you're talking about services like Amazon EC2, which is dedicated services, or VPC, Amazon taking care of the hardware, global infrastructure, networking, compute, storage, and customers taking responsibility on the rest of the security posture. If you're talking about services a little bit more abstract, like database services or Elastic MapReduce clusters, then responsibility model a little bit shifting, and that's where Amazon taking responsibility about on a platform level, on operational system and network level, and compute storage, of course, and hardware, and the customer responsible for the rest. And if you take into extreme, or like some managed services like S3 or DynamoDB, that's where the Amazon taking responsibility of the majority of the stack, and the customer is still sharing responsibility on a customer data and client side encryption. So by talking about that, I want to emphasize that the a little bit more abstraction, less responsibility, and if less abstraction, more responsibility on a customer. And if you're talking about like shifting some portion of the responsibility of the security responsibility to the cloud provider, like Amazon, that's where you're relying on a AWS compliance and all the factors, all the steps which Amazon took to achieve like internationally recognized certifications, and keeping them actual. And that's where like highly regulated industries can completely rely on our Amazon portion of the security shared model. So and in the beginning of the talk, again, I mentioned that we are trying to automate as much as possible in terms of the security. That's where we're providing like variety of the tools, so any customer can automate their security posture and keep it secure and safe, because there is always room for human error. There is always room, especially right now when we mix our like home office, and when we mix our private life and work life all together at the same table, at the same working place, on the same computer. That's where by automating security posture, you're actually removing this human factor. So, and that's where Amazon have actually well-architected framework, and it has 5 pillars, but one of them is security pillar. And that's where like any customer can look at this open document and see what kind of recommendations we have for any customer to support to keep their cloud secure. So that's where I want to talk quickly about like those 5 core concepts. Is identity and access management, where we have a variety on tools and instruments which help prevent security issues and automate access and keep everything tight and sweet. We're talking about infrastructure security, where there is again set of the tools and set of the instruments which help protect from external attacks. It helps protect from misconfigurations. It helps protect from the open ports on our iOS patches, etc., etc. It's everything related to the infrastructure security. We're talking about data protection, which is a very important topic, and that's where like key management services, certificate management, server-side encryption, all of those tools are available for the customers. And we're talking about detective controls. It's very important to make sure that when you build infrastructure, you have those tools to be able to understand what's going on in your infrastructure and be able to detect if anything happens. And last but not least, incident response with the rules and Amazon Detective. And we want to make sure that any customer have a tools to follow up if anything happens or any incident. So that being said, I want to emphasize that no matter what size of the organization, whether it's a startup, small business, or large enterprise, all of our customers share the same benefit of the tools which used by the most regulated companies and most regulated customers, like finance, from government, from etc. And all of the customers have access to the same tools. But in addition to that, there is some very interesting twist for startups. We have Amazon Marketplace, where like any company, whether it's a large company or startup, can offer their solution, their specific targeted niche solution for security specific niche, for example, or need of the company. And that's where we, on this slide, you can see we partner with a lot of well-established and young companies who were startups just few years ago, and now they well-established companies with well-established products. And we offer any of the company who have a product and offering to go to the marketplace and offer their product, and just cover the need of any bigger enterprise who probably just looking for a solution. And also our business development for startups. Well, I'm startup solution architect, and I work closely with the startup business development. They are constantly looking at the startups who are on our platform, offer any advanced services, and looking and connecting them where existing enterprises who looking for those niche targeted solutions and who want to get like specific service. Like, for example, if you're talking about this niche solution, I found like very interesting use case. There's the new data security, which is now MasterCard company. They used to be just a small startup, and they were solving particular niche problem, which were noticed by MasterCard, and MasterCard acquired that company, that startup, for very good amount of money, and added to their internal security posture. And now it's a successful collaboration for MasterCard to have covered their particular need. So that's where, again, getting back to variety of the services we have on the platform and opportunity for startups. I encourage all of the startups to not limit themselves on just a regional market they have, and go global and represent their solutions on AWS and talk to us. And we will be always open to talk and to help and support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Igor. Just a short question for better understanding. So that's a really marketplace, though that's not what you use in your entire ecosystem, but these are companies and their products just offering this to everybody. So if I want to look for a new solution, I just enter your marketplace, identify the right company, the right product, and talk directly to them. Is this correct?
So basically, again, the set of solutions we have, they're available for all customers and for any customer on the platform. If you're looking for your specific solution, you go to our marketplace, and anything available on the marketplace is available to any customer. And if you need something specific, or you're looking for something specific, you can connect to us, to the startup business development, and we will be happy to look through our startup portfolio and make a connection if we found a good match.
Great. So then I talk to you and you say, guys, here we have one company, 100% fitting to your needs, talk to them.
Hopefully it's going to be the best match. We of course cannot guarantee 100% match, but that would be ideal, of course. Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great.
Oh, yeah, good.
Wonderful thing.
Just one question from me. And how long could it take for good startup to be included in your services portfolio, in your offering portfolio for the other clients? Let's what you just talked about.
So basically, again, there is no time. There is no time limit, and we open and we accept startups on a platform constantly, all the time. And we, as soon as we connect with them, as soon as we know about what they offer, we add them into the system and we take them into the loop with our business development. So that's where just anytime, there is no time limit, so there is no like any grace period.
Good, good.
So means we have to create something really, really good, and then we talk to Igor.
Sure, sure.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Igor.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much. Good. And yeah, then I think we continue. Yelena, your turn now.
Well, good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for the introduction and for the great speeches before me, actually. Well, it helps a lot to know all the details for what your colleagues and your competitors sometimes are doing here. So I'm making this spoiler for all my presentations, so I wasn't attentive enough to start with the title, and now we have it. So we are talking about security awareness, well, success story, I hope so, and maybe the next year it will be even bigger success, but still we are talking about it. What is this, how we came here, what was the story, and what were the issues actually? Well, the startup story is never easy, so that's what actually we have experienced in our years, and to some extent trying to experience as well. So I will start with several pictures. Just take a look at this. This is some people, some cartoon heroes which are making some mistakes in cyberspace. Well, for example, the lady is trying to share her password with someone just over the telephone, and this young man is trying to share well, the video from the New Year Eve. I don't know how in other countries, but in Russia, the New Year celebrations can be a little bit, I wouldn't want to the video to be shared without my consent, I would say it like this. Maybe not this year. So let us see the second picture. So this is the power station, which is growing somewhere in the fields. And actually we have this power station is experiencing some cyber attacks, and maybe even some risk of explosion are coming to it. And we can see that it's the virtual reality, and the young woman is playing the game, with all of this. And actually, she is one of these heroes here. And she's trying to prevent the attack, to prevent the explosion of the power station. Another set of pictures. So you can see that maybe it's some kind of online tool or mobile tool, and you're absolutely right. This is the online educational platform which shows you a lot of practical situations which you can stumble upon every day, and it also shows you some assessment tools like test and like simulated phishing attacks. So the email, which seems to be legitimate, it goes to your mailbox, you're clicking this, and you're having the web page which shows you that you fell for the cyber attack. This time it's not dangerous because it was the learning exercise, but still it's something. And what else do we have? This is the picture of the mobile application, mobile game, the game in the visual novel genre. You can even say that some part of the screenshots are in Russian. It is made because the final cut of this product, of this game, came to my messenger just 20 minutes ago. And so I didn't have a chance to change the screenshot. So I'm using part of this as the previous cut of this. This is a very new product that we are launching here. All of these pictures that I was showing you, they are in different styles, they are in different formats, but all of them are security awareness product that we actually have at Kaspersky portfolio. So this is quite complicated slide. I won't go to all the details here, but you can see that yes, that security awareness as the training for employees, training on cybersecurity basics, is created according to the recent scientific studies and psychological studies. It comes through the different stages of acceptance of the cyber hygiene rules. And for this, we have different features and different products, but that's not the core message of our today's talk. So basically, why security awareness? Why training is important? Actually, my colleagues, both Vitaly and Igor, already mentioned the human factor, which is absolutely important nowadays. You can see that this particular picture had been drawn 14 years ago. So you can see the 2006 in the copyright section here, but it's still the case. So just in case you don't see all the details here. So in this corner, we have firewalls, encryptions, antivirus software, etc., etc. And in this corner, we have Dave, human error, someone who can ruin all of your technical precautions. You invested millions or at least thousands into technical stuff, into all this firewalls, encryptions, anti-targeted attack systems, and all of this. But then there came Dave, who makes the mistake. Unintentionally, he is not the insider. He's just clicking some funny links, right? Why not? He is just having a call with the cyber criminal and entering the cyber criminals into his or her computer inside. So giving the remote control for this, sometimes even the administrative rights. And that was the legitimate action. And so no technical solution can fight this type of misbehavior that many of our employees actually don't tell anyone, but all of us sometimes perform. So to fight with these cyber attacks, the only solution is training, is to raising awareness among employees. But if you don't do this, you're losing money. This is the huge money which companies all over the world are losing because of human errors. So see here, if you're a relatively small company like 100, 200, or even 500 people in this, then one cyber incident caused by employees' mistakes will cost you more than $100. But if you are the huge organization, more than 1,000, the average cost of one single incident will be more than $1 million. So it's actually huge, and it happens with many companies every day. And as Kaspersky, we can see it every day. So here at this building, is this business center, we have more than 2,000 people. Maybe not physically right now, but still more than 2,000 people who are investigating these cyber attacks all the day, every day. They know how to behave safely. They know what is which behavior produces the problems and which doesn't. And so knowing all the statistics and knowing how to fight with this. So we have created our trainings to sell to our customers. So security awareness is the fastest growing market in cybersecurity. And I must say that this is the highest growing market in the whole IT industry. So the average growth rate is more than 40% year by year. It has been this so for the last 4 years, and it's going to be the same for at least 3 years to come. And the total addressable market is quite big now. There is a lot of space here in this market. So you can see the total addressable market is 2.5 billion, but the actual size of the market is less than 1 billion yet. So we have $1.5 billion which can be taken right now, which can be taken by us, which can be potentially taken by you, I don't know. So the new customers appear every day. Yes. Again, as I said, here at this company, they have this strict understanding of how people are supposed to behave to prevent any risks for their companies. So if you're looking at the translation now in the broadcast, you can see the beautiful cat at Igor's window. So I cannot, well, I can't but laugh at this. It's very nice. But still, please take a look at my slides as well. So we have created, what we have done, basically, we have created the cyber safety skill set and just adding different formats, methods, prices to this. And that forms our business. But how this business have come to this stage? Right now, we are getting the millions every year on this. And then our products, my products, are sold to about 70 countries as for now. And more than 500 of partners, of resellers are actively reselling these products. But how we came to this? Actually, it all started almost 5 years ago, by only one Kaspersky employee. His name is Slava, and he was working for the industrial security department. Industrial security is the huge line of business for Kaspersky. But back then, 5 years ago, only some proof of concept appeared in the market. But still, we had the customers, and we needed to have something to sell to these customers in terms of industrial cybersecurity. And Slav decided that maybe we will start with something very simple, like training. But training alone is not as sexy stuff. Maybe we will make a kind of business simulation here. Business simulation on interactive, on industrial cybersecurity. And that's exactly what he did. He was alone here. He had other stuff to do here at this company. But as the internal entrepreneur, he just started and he did it, and who sold it to the first customers. So that forms the product which remains one of the most popular in our portfolio now, Kaspersky Interactive Protection Simulation. And it was launched almost 5 years ago. Again, that was the byproduct of and the opportunity which was created by another line of business, but with this relatively small training, which only takes 2 hours. We have entered the total market. We have gained our first customers. And this is how we started the new line of business for Kaspersky. Of course, later we have added another gamified training, security, cyber safety management games. And thus we understood that, yes, we can sell it. So we sold it for the hundreds of thousands for the first, I would say, 6 months. And so we understood that it's something that we need to work on this. This moment, well, some other employees arrived. I was the employee like 2.5 here in this line of business. And we started working with the more scale, actually. The scale, when you have the proof of concept, when you have your products, when you see that the product complements in all other Kaspersky portfolio, this is the time to scale this success. And that's what we did. We understood that maybe if we will try to create the huge product, what we were missing were the online platform, an online platform which can be easily sold to any customer in this world. But we understood, we made the analysis, and we understood that to create such a platform from scratch will take us millions of dollars and at least a couple of years. And so we needed something to grow in this market and to go further. And so we decided that maybe it's a good idea to come to one of the leaders on this sphere. In this case, it was Wombat Security, the company which started much earlier than us and had quite developed products. And we came to the agreement that we will resell this product, third-party product for Kaspersky, and make the value for our customers. That's exactly what we did. The Wombat was predominantly sold in the United States on the domestic market for Wombat security, and we brought it to the rest of the world. The rest of the world is the huge area, and again, we made millions every year for Europe, first of all, in Latin America, in Africa, of course, in the Middle East as well. And we provided, again, with the product which have been created by third party, we provided our services over this, and we gained a huge experience. We knew from, well, hundreds of calls, hundreds of meetings with the customers, with partners, whatever you want. We understood the pains of the customers. What do they miss now? And it happened that there are 2 basic areas of this market. So first, the existing products, almost all of them, almost leading products, are a little bit too difficult for, especially for the smaller companies, for SMEs. They don't have enough resources to manage all of these programs. They cannot spend hours and weeks and months just to set up all the assignment, all of this. So that's why we decided that maybe it's time to come up with the product which reflects to this point. And the second point was how the efficiency is taken in the training department. And knowing this, having these insights, having all of this, so we started to create our own platform. and which have been launched last year. Oh my goodness. So for me, it's like I spent my entire life with this product, but it's less than 2 years. Now, it is Kaspersky Automated Security Awareness Platform. If you see the name, you will see that the acronym for this is ASAP. Kaspersky ASAP, the same as soon as possible. And that means that we created the product that can be launched as soon as possible, basically in 5 minutes. You can register the trial at www.k-asap.com. I will send it to you. And register for administrative trial. And at 5 minutes, you will have your educational program set up and training. Of course, in trial, it's only for 5 people, but still. So with this product, we invested a lot, and we grown to the SMB market as well, to the channel. And so that was maybe one of the most successful events that we have. Of course, we had a lot of mistakes on this way. So of course, maybe some functionality wasn't necessary, and some functionality should have come earlier. I wouldn't hide it. So we even lost some customers on this journey, but now we have this experience, and we understand what is missing. And this is exactly what we did this year. It was the challenging year for all of us, for cybersecurity industry as well, and for trading industry. But during this year, we have added some stuff which we were missing. We understood that it's missing. We're always trying. We're trying, we're doing, we're selling, we're talking to the customers, and we understand what else should we do. And we understood that maybe we are missing some very progressive learning techniques like adaptive learning. This year, together with Area 9, with the great power in the learning and development, we have created our own Kaspersky Adaptive Online Training, which is targeted to enterprises, while ASAP, Automated Security Awareness Platform, is targeted mainly to SMB. We are continue growing the portfolio, and you see all these beautiful pictures that are beautiful, I hope beautiful, for your eyes as well, for me, it is. To extend our portfolio and to make it much more comprehensive, to provide the turnkey solution specifically for enterprise customers, and to add more gamification here. So you could see that we have the gamified assessment tool, which I showed you already. This month, we are launching the Disconnected tool, this mobile game I was showing to you, which again, I didn't have the English version to make the screenshot even, but I have it, now the market has it. So we added it to our offering. Of course, we are developing the existing products as well, and we can see it's very important for us. We are making, when we are launching the new feature, for example, when we launch the advanced facial simulator for ASAP this summer, so we used it as the marketing tool, we used it as the public relations hook, and we used it as the upsell and renewal tool, and we see how it works, how it is received by the market, and what else should be there. We have the huge plans. Well, this week I need to approve the roadmap for the next year, for example. And again, it's all about exploration. It's all about product, and it's all about how market responds to your product and to your initiatives. So in our case, we are making this stuff. We are coming to the biggest success, to the biggest stories. Of course, this year, as I mentioned, this year was very special for us. Yes, this is some advertising, and this is some information which I want to share with you. Well, people's behavior changed a lot. You all know this. You can see that I'm in the office now, but this is quite rare situation. Just normally, the majority of us are working from home, and it's completely different stuff from cybersecurity perspective. So just some figures, for example, only 53% of all the remote employees use VPN when they are working from home, which means that the half of all the employees globally don't use VPN for this, and they are working on the very questionable network, Wi-Fi networks. They don't know what is this. Are they protected or not? They're not protected by their technical solution that their company protects, and they don't use VPN. This is quite sensitive figure, but I cannot share, I can't miss it in my short talk. 51% of all workers admit that they watch adult content on devices they use for work. We all understand that it's risky. It's a risky behavior. At least you use different browser, or better, you use different device, or at least use a different account on the same device. They don't do this because they don't have skills, because they don't know how to do this, and basically they don't understand why so. The 73% of employees are still not receiving the proper IT security training for their remote work. This is our job. This is our market. This spring, we have issued the free online course on how to stay safe and stay secure, both physically and from digital perspective. And that was the very popular course, which brought us a lot of customers and a lot of recognition and a lot of media attention. Again, we did it in just 2 weeks. It was a huge work, very fast job. But if you're the startup, you're doing this, you're doing the fast stuff, you're changing something, and still you keep persisting on what you're doing, on what you want to achieve, and how you feel this market. So I would say that it's more or less it from my side. I can speak for hours about this topic, but if you have any questions from you.
Yeah, Yelena, thank you very much. Indeed, a great success story, very much illustrating how from a let's say simple idea, yeah. A huge business is developing, and yeah, very, very impressive. I have only one question: why Dave?
Actually, this is the picture which haven't been created by us. This is something that we found on the internet, and it's quite illustrative that it was created 15 years ago. So we can the author of this picture and task by Dave. In Russia, we call it Maria Ivanovna, accountant Maria. This is the stereotypical, sorry, all Marias. It's not about you, but typically when we say yes, that people make mistakes.
So it means there's no hidden reason behind the name. It's just a name. No, okay, great, thank you. Very, very, very impressive indeed. Good. Yeah, then we hand over to our last speaker today. Ivan, the scene is yours now.
Yeah, thank you, Lars. Just a minute, I will share my presentation and I will be able to start. Let me know if you can see it. Yeah? Can you see it? Yeah? Okay, cool. So thank you everybody for your attention, and thank you all the speakers for your great presentations and for great numbers about cybersecurity. So I will not repeat them. And today I want to talk about cybersecurity partnership opportunities that Microsoft offers, and how companies can benefit from Microsoft in terms of cybersecurity and building the partner relations with Microsoft. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ivan Kopytov, and I'm a startup program manager in Microsoft Central and Eastern European region team, responsible mostly for Russia and CIS region. And I will start with the statement that cloud, and right now Microsoft, of course, is a cloud company. So cloud is a new normal. So we see that many businesses who started their digitalization, and that during pandemic, this shift or this transition to digital companies being really accelerated. And companies, with the pandemic, companies start adopting cloud technologies faster and faster. and the businesses have to organize the work and the business processes for the remote employees, and with access to the internet, to the devices, and all these things brings new challenges to IT, and brings new cybersecurity risks, of course. Of course, people, as Vitaly mentioned, that people use their devices not only for the business purposes, but also for their personal. And the biggest challenge, how we see it, is how to keep the safety and control on the security, and at the same time keep the same level or even improve the productivity of organizations and employees. And what I want to show you right now is how Microsoft addresses these challenges, and how we see the security. So how we see the security, and how we address security risks. So Microsoft right now is spending about $1 billion every year on cybersecurity, and we, I'd say, split it in three parts. The first, the operations and the security of operations, how the company operates securely. Technologies, of course, because we are a technology company, and this is something we can bring to the market, bring to our customers and partners. And the next and very important thing is, of course, partnerships. And I will right now give more clarity what I mean. So the first thing is operations. And by operations, first of all, I want to show you the Microsoft Intelligence Security Graph. This is a visualization of how we get information about users' behavior, about I would say common or usual user behavior, and how we can detect some anomalies from different services, like business services like Azure or O365, and at the same time consumer services like Windows, Xbox, Bing. So Microsoft owns really a lot of resources, which helps us to understand how users behave and how what are the risks and what are how they've been attacked. And by the way, to add some numbers to what my colleagues already mentioned, is that Microsoft see that during pandemic, the attacks, social engineering attacks increased about 50%, which is a lot. And as Yelena mentioned, yeah, sometimes users are really the most, I would say, how to say it, not the safest part of your organization. Yeah, and this is why we come and we help our partners and customers to build the zero trust approach, where we advise any organization to challenge all the processes, all the employees' roles, and all the devices on the security. So if this is the correct, if this is the right roles and rights which this or that user have, and do this application is secure enough. Yeah. Again, so users and employees are using their personal devices, both for business and personal, which means that I would say gaming application could be installed together with some business stuff like emails, calendars, or even some, I don't know, business analytical tools. And what is important is, of course, our services, Microsoft services, helps to build this zero trust access control as a service, which means that you as a owner of your business, or the security guy, so you can understand if this employee should have this right, yeah, and help a company to, as I mentioned, build this security level, and which will protect your data, the data of your organization, and your customers' data, which is also very important, and keep the productivity of your employees, to avoid the situation when every employee will spend hours to get the report or get the information they need, yeah, but at the same time you will be able to control what employees do and what the access rights they have. Another part of our vision is the technology, of course. And here I will mention only one service, which is quite new, Azure Sentinel. And this is the way how we rethink, we, Microsoft, of course, how we rethink the security operations, analytics, and reporting. This is the cloud service which helps to collect the data across your organization, understand where are the threats, investigate the incidents, and of course, which is very important, to rapidly respond them. So this is a service which helps you to analyze all the security data and respond all the attacks, all the threats, and build your defense against any cybersecurity risks. And why I'm talking about the Azure Sentinel, this is I would say, brand new service which Microsoft launched recently, and this service we encourage our partners and our customers to use, of course, our cloud services and our security services. And so we are interested that our partners, first of all, they are using, of course, some cybersecurity stuff to defend their own application and their own IT infrastructure. And at the same time, we are interested to help our partners to bring cybersecurity to their customers. This is how Microsoft see our role. And but here I would echo Igor that security is a shared responsibility. So, and the more you own your data and your infrastructure, the more on-premises stuff you have, the more responsibility you have across the cybersecurity. And this picture shows that you can, I would say, transfer some of this responsibility to big cloud, to the cloud vendor, who will take care about some parts of your IT infrastructure, or if you are a startup, some part of your application, yeah, and which helps you to focus more on creating your IP, but not administrating your infrastructure, or of course taking care about security. But again, it's always a shared responsibility. So even if you are using all the SaaS from, I would say, any cloud vendor, yeah, think about that. There is still some part that you are responsible, and you should think about. And here we come to the partnership partnership offer, and this is really the thing I'm responsible about. Oh, first I will mention, of course, about the Microsoft, our Intelligent Security Association, where we partner with the top security companies on the market to help our customers be be secure, yeah, with our services, with our partner services, and this also helps to, I would say, enrich our portfolio of security services and help our customers to be more defended. And let's talk several minutes about the startups. So we are looking for the B2B startups who are building the secure, of course, not only security solutions, but security is really on top of our mind. And what does it mean? How we can help and how we work with startups. So we asked the question to ourselves, well, addresses one question to ourselves: what matters to startups, and see that, and what we can give them. There are two things: access to technologies and access to customers. We are ready to help startups on every stage, from idea up to scale up. But right now, I would say that we are more focused on scale ups, which means that the first part of our offer, the technical one, where we give companies access to technologies and, of course, access to Azure and all the services I mentioned today during my presentation, and hundreds of other services, where any cybersecurity startup can build the application on top of them. And as I mentioned, focus more on the IP and focus more on building their own intellectual property. And the second thing is business benefits and benefits that help startups to scale. And by this, I mean, first of all, several tools and programs where Microsoft can help companies who build their products on top of our cloud technologies scale. So what is presented here? Of course, the marketplace. This is an instrument that help company to deliver the application to any user, any customer across the world. Yeah. And there are two other things which are, I would say, quite impressive even. Yeah. Of course, our co-sell program, where Microsoft sellers are really interested to present our partner solution to the customers, which means what does it mean for the startup? If you have the application, some B2B application, and you somehow use Microsoft Cloud Platform, you can really scale with the help of Microsoft sales. And this is one thing. And the second thing is Microsoft, of course, is strong with our partner network, where we have system integrators, distributors, and Microsoft platform allows ISVs, I mean, independent software vendors and startups, scale not only through Microsoft sellers, but also through our partners who several years ago, they were selling only Microsoft licenses, now selling Microsoft Cloud services, and they can sell the services of our ISV partners, so startups. And here is the example of Polish startup Cyberus Labs, who are building their IoT security platform with the help of our technologies. This is a screenshot from our marketplace, which means that the company is now on marketplace, and I hope that soon they will benefit from our co-sell motion. And another example is the Romanian company Coda, which helps very interesting customers, which are called MSPs, or managed service providers, to secure, to bring the security to their customers. It means that they are not only that Coda is not only helping MSP to automate the security services, but they also help them to really upsell some new services to their customers, to the current customers. And the last thing to mention today is that we are not really looking for partnership, not only with startups and scale-ups. We are also looking for the new for us, of course, independent and software vendors, I'm sorry, and system integrators who can first benefit from Microsoft security services and also can bring the services to our customers. And here we can help. So thank you for your attention. Let's keep in touch.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much, Ivan. Also very, very interesting. You raised at the beginning of your presentation a very interesting point, cloud. So your message, if I understand this correctly, is cloud is the future. But if we now look into the question, we have a company with all their servers, softwares, architecture on-premise. What is the additional benefit? And I think that's a point for discussion for all of you colleagues. What should be the reason to move an on-premise architecture to the cloud? What are the pluses? What are the minuses? Is a cloud infrastructure really more secure than an on-premise one? Is it really the case? Now, so what is really the benefit of a cloud solution if I have everything today on-premise?
Oh, I think my point of view is that there are a lot of benefits, like the access from anywhere. Yeah, and like I can give you an example. Yeah, Microsoft is a cloud company. We built our own cloud technologies, but we also use them. And for us, when the pandemic started, it was really not a problem at all to start working from home. It's just of course, it's a shift in your culture, but it's not a problem for our technologies. I believe the same situation, for example, for Igor, yeah, at AWS, because really, so we have all the resources, we have all the tools, which we can use from any device or from any location. So this is one of big benefits. And thank you, Lars, for the question. But I want probably to highlight that we are not pushing the companies to move everything to the cloud. So it should be like a very intelligent decision. So what part can be moved to the cloud without any concerns to, I don't know, security policies and everything. But exactly, there is some stuff that can be easily moved to the cloud, and where your organization and your employees will really benefit from.
Lars, yeah, I want to add something.
To you, Nana.
Yeah, right. So I want to add a little bit. So it's a very good question, and Ivan highlighted some of the good points. But I also want to add, from my perspective, that by moving to the cloud, you're also choosing a trusted partner, you know, like you're not alone on your journey with IT infrastructure and supporting and evolving and innovating. You choosing a partner who's going to be going along with you this journey and who's going to be supporting you in your journey and helping you scale and helping you innovate and helping you actually realize the IT potential and maybe taking some burden off your shoulders. So again, I want to say that it's a lot of benefits, and Ivan outlined some, I mentioned some, but this is inevitable future actually to have a partner and to make this journey together.
Maybe also Yelena and Vitali, from a security point of view, now, can we compare on-premise and cloud, especially now when we understand that the entire businesses, services, so what everything we do today from the smartphone, from the tablet, computer, that all these services we use in our daily life now are mainly somewhere in the cloud. Can we say that the cloud is as secure as an on-premise solution is? Or is there a difference?
I think I will start, guys. Sorry, I have some technical issues with the camera, but the thing is, I think that it's not a question between the if cloud is safer than the on-prem. The fact is that the cloud is, as Ivan said, the new normal. I mean, like if you do not consider cloud as the adjustment to your or addendum to your infrastructure, then you make a mistake, because your employees will use it if you know it or don't know it. And actually, companies, I believe they have to consider the cloud infrastructure as organic expansion of the on-prem, and identify the right tools to deploy on both on-prem and the cloud. Then the challenge comes how to manage this properly all together. And here these are solutions that integrate both on-prem and cloud domains under the single pane of glass came into full power. From the, if you again go back to the cloud infrastructure and the on-prem, what I see is that a trend that the back in the days, the on-prem was like a castle, you know, super defended, but the cloud was so defended because there were not so many solutions. But guys, look what AWS and Microsoft with Azure did, created the huge infrastructure and the ecosystem of the solution providers. I'm not even saying about the security operations management tools that are also available in the cloud. So they did a tremendous job investing into the building the infrastructure and the ecosystem around them. So right now, no one can say that the cloud is less secure than the on-prem. The on-prem is more comfortable because it's here, it's in your office, you can touch it, right? The cloud is somewhere else, but security folks right now don't see one less secure than the other one. They're equal, I think. That's at least my personal point of view.
Yeah, I will add a little bit. I totally agree that the cloud is the new normal, absolutely. And the vast majority of our customers understand it very well. Of course, there are some customers which want to have all they can on premise. And sometimes it's quite understandable if you have the critical infrastructure. Of course, a lot of your infrastructure should be on premises. But in the majority of cases, what we can see now, that we are getting more and more customers which have the majority of their IT systems on premise, but they still have the same issues with the customers. They don't have anything connected, but still the employees are making the mistakes, and it costs them a lot. And so from the perspective of human behavior, it is more or less the same. So it's on premises doesn't guarantee you from any mistakes in this department. So that's cloud is absolutely secure. You just need to live with this. You just need to train your IT people actually accordingly and to prevent you from the related threats.
So it means the trend is in any case is more and more shifting services to the cloud. But what we learned, and I think that's a very important lesson and message, is that the most critical point is the human factor. Means our employee doing mistakes, working with the wrong device in the wrong area, and therefore allowing to penetrate the system or opens the doors of your system to the third party. So security culture, security hygiene inside the company gives you, Elena, 50% more?
It's difficult calculations as well. Actually, cybersecurity culture should be developed in any organizations, and I'm absolutely happy that 5 years ago I had to come to the market and tell that you need to have it, you need to train it in place. Now there is no doubts about this. Everyone understands that it should be the point. And yes, if you are coming not only through compliance but through culture, it works much better and it saves you money.
Good. Then to summarize this, 50% human factor could be covered by the right culture, trainings, instructions, and the other 50% is a good cloud solution with all the firewalls and this right security defense around. And if you combine this, then you have plus minus a 100% perfect solution for your business.
Almost 100.
Almost perfect. Good. Dear colleagues, Julia, is there anything in the chat still to be answered?
No, still no.
Good.
Few participants here.
Good. Okay, then we did this right in time. Again, colleagues, thank you very much for this incredible presentations. Wonderful insights and very interesting facts.
Yes, couldn't agree more. Thank you so much.
Good. Then hope to see you soon again, to talk to you anyway. Now again, thank you very much and have a nice evening and bye-bye. Cheers to everybody.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Everybody stay safe.
Great day.